Well, a wonderful good evening to all of you. I daven Mincha Ma'ariv in Woodburn tonight, and I spoke between Mincha Ma'ariv and the Nicholsburger Shul, so it's a little bit hard for me to get back. It's wonderful to see everybody. Let's go like this, and like this, and like this. Okay. Like this. Okay, we're holding 2 lines from the top of Kuf Yud Amid Aleph. 110, unbelievable. So, Kisalik Rebbe Elazar, when Rebbe Elazar went up to Eretz Yisrael, Salik is always to go up. Nachis is when they went down to Bavel. So as Avigdor was saying, sometimes he's Salik and sometimes he's Nachis. So ki Salik Rebbe Elazar, Ashkechei leZeiri, he found Zeiri. Amalei, so he said to him, Ikatana de Asne Larav Kechal. Is there a Tana around who taught a Braisa to Rav about an udder? The udder has deposits of milk. What's the din? If you cook it, if you didn't tear it open. Achvei Rav Yitzchak bar Avdimi. So they pointed to Rav Yitzchak bar Avdimi. So Rav Yitzchak bar Avdimi clarified what happened. Amalei ani lo shenisi lo kchal kolik. I never shared with Rav any teaching about an udder. However, Rav bika matzah, but he found a breach. V'gada bageder, and he made a geder. You know, when you find that people are lenient with something, so when people are lenient with something, you have to, make it more than stricter than usual, so that they should take the matter seriously. The Rav Ikla leTatlavash. Rav visited the town of Tatlavash. Shamalai Itzisa, he heard a woman, the Amr leChaverta, that she was saying, they were talking about recipes. Riva de Bisser Kama Chalba B'Oilav Ashulek. For a liter or a litra of meat, how much milk do you need to cook it in? He said, oh my goodness. Like Mirei the Basar B'Chalav Aser, I don't know that Basar B'Chalav is Aser. He akiv, so he stayed there, v'ka'asalu kachla. And he asked them that if the udders aren't torn open properly, that they're forbidden. Now that's a little bit further than we said. We said that even if it's torn and you roasted it, even if it wasn't torn, it's permitted. But he was machmir that they should get the idea that Basar B'Chalav is awesome. However, that's not a universal opinion of the story. Rav Kahana Masnehachi. Rav Kahana taught it in that version. Rabbi Yossi bar Abba Masne, Ani Kchal Shel Manika Shanisi Lai. When I said it over to him, I said it over about the udder of a nursing animal, because that udder is suffused with milk. Umipilpulei shel Rabbi Chia shana lekchol stam. But Rabbi Chia, who was very, very mefulpul, and sometimes the simple details were taken for granted, he said kchal stam, even though he meant only the kchal of a nursing cow. So when Rav said that kchal is aser if you roasted it without tearing it, really the halacha is only by a nursing cow which was suffused with milk. Another story about kchal. Rav and Rabbi Yitzchak bar Yosef iklu lebei Rav Papi. Rav and Rabbi Yitzchak bar Yosef visited the house of Rav Papi. Aisu lekamayu tafshila de kchal. they served a dish of udder. Rabbi Yitzchak bar Yosef achel. Rabbi Yitzchak bar Yosef ate it. Ravin lo yachel. Ravin didn't eat it. Ravin did not want to eat it. This is like the minig of Surah, where they didn't eat it at all. So, Amar Abaya, Ravin Tichla. It's interesting that they called him this. Ravin lost his children during his lifetime. So Ravin Tichla, Ravin who was bereaved. Shaila is why they called him that. Why should you call it? So it could be that that losing children is mechaper. So Ravin, who has such a kapara in his life, amay lo yachal, why don't you eat? You know who's serving it to you? Is the wife of Rapapi. Do you know who she is? Do you know who Rapapi's Rebbitzin is? Michtei, the Biserd Rapapi, brother of Yitzchak Nafcha. The wife of Rapapi was the daughter of Rav Yitzchak Nafcha. And you know Rav Yitzchak Nafcha? Rav Yitzchak Nafcha, Mari Dovdahava. He is someone that you could always rely on. Ilav the Shmila Mibei Nasha, if she didn't hear this from her father's house, so you could certainly rely on how she prepared udder for you and you could eat it. Now the Gemara tells us, as I told you, Besura le'achla kachle. In Surah, which was a metropolis in Babel, in Surah they didn't eat the udders. But Pumpadisa achle kachle. In Surah, the udder, they didn't even tear it. They didn't eat udders at all. We'll see. They threw it away. But Pumpadisa achle kachle. In Pumpadisa, they ate it. You know, they prepared it la'alacha, they tore it open, and they ate it. Rami bar Tamre dahavi Rami bar Dikule. Rami bar Tamre, who is also known as Rami bar Dikule, mipumpadisa. He came from a place where they permitted. Ikla l'sura, he visited Surah. B'malu Yom Kippura, and Erev Yom Kippur, when it's a mitzvah to eat, right? It's a big mitzvah to eat. Now, in Surah, they threw away the udders. They all threw away their udders. So now he had a delicious meal. He went, he took it, and achlinu, and he ate it. Now, this was like, going against the minig hamakam. I saw the kamid Rav Chisda. They grabbed him and brought him before Rav Chisda. So Amalei, so Rav Chisda said, why did you do such a breach? Amalei me'asid Rav Yehuda ana. I am from Rav Yehuda's locale, from Pumpadisa. The achel, we eat it there. So he says, yeah, but you're supposed to do the minig of the makam. Amalei v'leslach. You don't hold of what we learned in Masechtas Pesachim. Noisin love chumrei hamakom sheyatzim misham. We give a person the chumras of the place where he left, the chumrei hamakom shalach l'sham, and the chumras of the place where he goes to. So now that you're in Surah, you shouldn't be eating the udder. Amalei, he said, that's why I was careful before I made the meal. I went out of the tchum of Surah. Chutz l'tchum achaltinu. So then he said to him, he realized he was very poor. So he says, if you went out of chutz l'tchum, ubamet v'sinu, how did you roast it? Amalei b'pertzone. I found some grape pits, and I roasted it with the grape pits. Says the Gemara, v'dilman miyayin nesachavi. Maybe it's grape pits that are yayin nesach. Maybe it's a grape pits of a goy. Amalei la'achar shneim chodesh hava. it's after 12 months, where everything has dried out, and it's permitted. Says the Gezel Hava. Maybe it was stolen merchandise. Amalei Yesh Ba'alim Hava. No, even if it was stolen merchandise, the owners were definitely miyayish because the katchubu chilfet, because they already grew in it thorns, and therefore it's not yesh shalei medas, because we already know it's very old, and the Ba'alim definitely gave up hope of them. So then Rav Chisda saw that he wasn't wearing tefillin. Those days they wore tefillin the whole day. Chazia deloy have a manach tefillin. He saw that he wasn't wearing tefillin. Amalei, my time aloi manchas tefillin. Why aren't you wearing tefillin? Amalei, so he said lo aleinu chaylim ayinu. He has stomach problems. And tefillin need a guf naki, and he didn't have a guf naki. But then he saw that he wasn't wearing tzitzis. He wasn't wearing tzitzis. Amalei, my time chute. Why don't you have tzitzis? Amalei talashula. He was very poor. It's a borrowed cloak, and a borrowed cloak the first 30 days doesn't need tzitzis. Rabbi Yehuda talashula kol shoyshim yoyim pturim min tzitzis. Now, before I continue, we turned the page already, so I could take out the liberty to welcome in Saba, Avram Zepkowitz, Chaim Kramer, in the shul Ruvain and Berish that are holding court so loyally. Leiby Vego, Mark Schafel, Rebel Yafi, Yaakov Warman, Avi DeFried, Dr. Black, Yisrael Fisher, Shalom Fogel, Ruvain Pollack, Menachem Yimansky, Mel Zachter, Yitzi Fuchs, Michael, what's his name? Marshall Castle, Dr. Guy, Shelley Zeitlin, Eddie Chazan, Gedalia Engel, Yosef Gildergorn, Stephen Holtzman, Nachman Chapler, Yitzi Muller, Danny Vogel, Gabriel Epstein, Abe Arbach, Shimon Klein, David Helfgott. I see Iran hasn't been here. We have to find out where Iran is. Where's Mark Frankel tonight? So now, Adahochi, in the meantime, remember now Rami Bar Dikuli is together with Rav Chisda, and there's another drama. Adahochi, Aisu Lahu Gavra, Delo Yavi Mokir Avu Avimei. They brought a person who was not giving honor to his father and his mother. Kaftu. So they bound him to give him malchus. So says the Gemara, no, you don't give malchus for that. Rami Bar Dikuli says you don't give malchus. Amalu shafkua. The Tanya kol mitzvahs asay shematan schara b'tzida. Any positive commandment that has its reward alongside, like kabeda sabicha v'esimecha l'man yarichan yamecha, ein bezdin shalmata muzharin oleh. Bezdin shalmata doesn't get involved in it. Amalei. So he said to him, Rav Chisda said to him, Chazina lach the charifis tuva. I see that you're very sharp. He had an answer for everything. Amalei, he said, Rav Yehuda, if you would come to Rav Yehuda, to where we are in Pumbedisa, I'll show you what real sharpness is. I don't want to pass it by, especially since it's Elul. Many of my veteran Talmidim have heard this from me, so it's okay if we review it. But talking about the reward of Kibbut of Aim, so the Olam knows, those that are Staten Islanders know the Edelman family. This Reb Shlomi Edelman, she was Staten Island, Reb Yisrael Helsh, Zech Tzadik L'Vrachas, Chutz Yagam Aleinu, Bal Tfilim, Bal Tekeya, all the years that I was in the yeshiva, Their mother passed away. She passed away at 98. The year before, her sister passed away at 98. And at the time, she had a sister that was 97. 3 sisters living into their deep 90s. So I asked them, did you ever ask them, Bameh Arachta Yomim? So they said yes, and they all gave the same answer. They said their father of Ashalom was a grocer during the Great Depression. And in those days, the oldsters will remember, they used to have milk in glass bottles. And they would deliver 8 wooden crates of these glass bottles. And their father would have to bring the crates into the store. And he had a bad back, and he would groan the whole day. So the 3 teenage girls made a pact that 2 of them would get up when the delivery came about 3:34 in the morning, and they would bring in the crates. They did that all their teenage life. They did it in the snow. They gave up going to camp in order to do it in the summer. And they said in that merit they lived deep into their 90s. It's Hashem by all of us. Now, Amalei Abaye Rav Safra. Now we're going to talk about the liver. The liver is a ganz andere story. This is not a problem of milk, it's a problem of blood. The liver is full of blood. Now, while the blood is in the liver, it's not forbidden. The question is when the blood comes out. Now, we're not worried about when you cook the liver, because even if the blood comes out, it doesn't reabsorb because it's too busy giving out to absorb. But the question will be, other meat in the pot, whether that becomes usher from the blood that comes out of the liver. Or do we say that the liver blood entirely is permitted? So let's see the sugya inside. Amalei Abaye Rav Safra ki sokis lahasam. When you go up to Eretz Yisrael, boy minei kavda, the liver mo osun bey. What information do you have? Ki solik, when he went up to Eretz Yisrael, ashkechei Rav Zrika. Amalei, I found Rav Zrika, and Rav Zrika said to him, Ana shalke le Rav Ami, I cooked it heavily for Rav Ami, v'achal. Ki asa legabe, when he came before him, remember, Abaye told Rav Safra to find information. So when Rav Safra came back to Abaye, Amalei l'meiser nafshaloi k'mebayli. I had no question that the liver itself is permitted. Ki k'mebayli l'meiser chaverta. If you cook it, and in it is a piece of flanken in the pot, does the piece of flanken become awesome? Says Gemara, so Rav Safra says, why wasn't it a problem that it's not aser itself, that nan eina neseres, the liver doesn't become aser? Then it should be pashut that the flanken does become aser. It asks something else, veina neseres. Right? Because we said itself, it's not going to reabsorb its blood because it's busy too much putting out blood. It puts out and doesn't absorb. But it says that it asks the other things. Says Gemara, Amalei, no, Dilma Hasam Bekavda the Yisura. Maybe over there it's talking about a liver of a treifa, or Mishum Sham Ninusa. And there it's also because of the fat. Mishum damamai. But what's the din of the blood? Do we say that since it's permitted to eat it, although it has a cake of blood in it, that blood is permitted and it doesn't even ask the flanken, or maybe it does? So that's going to be tomorrow's sugya. What did I want to say? First of all, I want to ask Danny Vogel. Danny Vogel, I'm sending out Yom Naraim letters. I don't have your address, so if you could send me yours and Florence's, text me yours and Florence's address, I would appreciate it. And just text it to me. And what else did I want to tell everybody? Also, don't forget that tomorrow is the Chumash Shir, and now we're going to learn the Mishnah Yomis.